Hi, my name's Ben. I work at the Game House, and as the 2023 NFL schedule starts to come out, we have a full Packers schedule per source from Matt Schneidman. Now, he says that the Packers will have 5 primetime games. Love's first full game as a starter will be in Chicago. Thanksgiving is in Detroit. Davante Adams faces the Packers for the first time since he left in Week 5. And then they have the Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, on Sunday Night Football in Week 13. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to do a quick first blush reaction and win-loss prediction to this schedule. Couple of things to note. The Packers have the cheapest wide receiver room in the entire league. The running backs look mostly the same. The offensive line looks mostly the same. The defense should look different with some more talent on there, but Joe Barry is still running the scheme, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. Now, an important thing to note, I might be a little too optimistic here, but that's because I'm a Packers fan. And the last biggest thing to pay attention to is we don't know what Jordan Love looks like. We don't know how good he is, and we don't know how good he'll play right out of the box. And it's also worth mentioning that Aaron Rodgers' first full year as a starter, he went 6-10, and then they missed the playoffs before he turned absolutely superhuman and became the best quarterback in the league. So, we're just going to jump right into it. Week 1, September 10th at the Chicago Bears. That's Jordan Love's first game. I'm going to go ahead and give them a win here. The Chicago Bears had the first overall pick in the draft, even though they traded it away. I'm not sure they're going to be much better this year, and I think Jordan Love will be motivated to win this game and try and play well, even though the Bears will also be motivated to start his career off badly. Either way, I'm going to give him a win to go 1-0. Week 2 is at the Falcons. That's another easy game. The Falcons do have a lot of offensive talent, but I'm hoping the defense plays fast here to start the season. Could the Falcons still win the NFC South? Absolutely, but I'm not sure they're going to be ready to go right out of the gate, so I'm going to give them another win here. Week 3 versus the Saints. Now, the Saints have Derek Carr. They have a great receiving core. Their defense is underrated, expensive and old, but a little bit underrated still. This could be a tough one, and I'm going to give them their first loss versus the Saints at home. They opened Lambeau this year with a loss at home. All right, if you were keeping score at home, they're now 2-1 through 3 weeks. Next one is versus the Lions on Thursday Night Football. Now, a lot of people are really high on the Lions. They think they're going to win the entire NFC North. I'm still not so sure about that, being a Packers fan myself, watching them collapse year after year. And after their controversial draft, I'm not really sure they got much better. Their running back room's a little too crowded. Their receiving core is depleted due to gambling issues. And Jared Goff is the definition of an up-and-down quarterback. So since this one it's close, but since this one is at home, I'll give them a win. All right, next one, at the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Jimmy G seems to have the Packers' number. Davante Adams is going to want to have a huge game. It is in Las Vegas, so they're traveling 2 time zones over. Monday Night Football is a huge spot, and I'm not sure Jordan Love's going to be up to the challenge with Davante Adams going to want to have the game of his life, so we're going to give him a loss here. All right, Week 6 is their bye. That's a bit of a problem. The Packers have notoriously been very injury-ridden throughout Aaron Rodgers' tenure. I'm not sure it's going to get much better this year, so an early bye is a problem. So keep an eye on that. October 22nd at the Broncos. I'm going to give them another win here because I don't believe in Russell Wilson anymore. I don't believe Sean Payton took the right job. I think he should have waited another year. I think it's going to be not as disastrous as last year, but still pretty bad. So I'm going to give the Packers a win here. And I know my letters are a little messed up. I'm just drawing here with my little trackpad, so sorry about that. October 29th versus the Vikings. We always split with the Vikings. It's just kind of what happens. I'm going to go ahead and give them a loss because I think it'll be a win on the road for each team this year. All right, November 5th, Week 9 against the Rams. It's a noon game on Fox. The Rams kind of seem to be rebuilding. We don't really know what's happening there. We don't know what's happening with Matthew Stafford's health. We don't know how all in they are, given their expensive roster, but they are trading pieces away, and they got their Super Bowl, but they're still saying they want to contend. This is going to be a tough one, but I will give the Packers a loss here, just because I think I've been a little too kind here so far. November 12th at Steelers. This is an easy one that will absolutely be a win. Kenny Pickett has been heralded as a good quarterback. I'm not even sure he's an okay quarterback. The body of work isn't there. The receiver room is good, but everything else, I'm not sure about the offensive line. They did take a tackle with their first round pick, and their defense allegedly got better, but I'm just not sure the Steelers are going to have what it takes to hang around, even with a Packers offense that probably won't be world beating. November 19th versus the Chargers. This is another easy one. I'm going to go with a loss here. Even though they are at home, the Chargers receiving room is too good. We don't know what's happening with Austin Eckler, but the defense is also fast. A little old, but not ancient. The Chargers are really going to want to try and punch their way to the top of that AFC West, so I think they're going to take the easy wins where they can find them. This is a loss for the Packers. Thanksgiving game at the Lions. That's going to be a win for them. They're going to want to put it on primetime, give everything they got, especially if they lose that first matchup. So that's 2 losses in a row. Versus Chiefs, Sunday Night Football on NBC. That's another loss. No real need to explain myself here. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be as good as last year, but they're definitely going to be better than the Packers. That's a loss. At the Giants on Monday Night Football. Now, I think we're going to see a bit of a turnaround here. Aaron Rodgers pretty famously lost to the Giants in heartbreaking fashion more than a few times, but Daniel Jones isn't all that. I'm not sure he's going to get much better from last year, and also Week 14. That's usually when injuries start to creep in, so we're going to give the Packers a win here to stop the skid. Versus Buccaneers, that's noon on Week 15. Baker Mayfield should presumably still be under center for the Buccaneers, and they have 2 great wide receivers still. Some great defensive talent, although I'm not sure the defense will be that great. We'll give them another win. At the Panthers, this might be surprising, but I'm going to chalk this one up to a loss. I think the Panthers are going to be a little bit better than most people expect this year. I think Bryce Young is really going to be starting to come on in Week 16, and I think they'll be making a push for the division here with the Buccaneers and Falcons. So we'll give the Packers another loss here. At the Vikings, I'm true to my word here. I'm going to give the Packers a win. I'm going to say they're going to split. I think the Vikings will be happy with that, and they should also be fighting for the division, even though they're going to lose here. And then finally, starting with the Bears and ending with the Bears. Now this one's tough, but I'm not sure either team is going to have much to play for here. I'm going to go ahead and give the Packers a loss to round out the season, go 3-3 in the division. So if you're keeping track at home, that is a full record of 8-9. That will almost certainly miss the playoffs, even in a bad NFC. The Packers are going to need some breaks to go their way, and again, I think I was even a little too kind here. So that's just a first blush reaction. We don't know anything about the team. We don't know anything about Jordan Love. But let me know what you think. Was I too kind? Was I too mean? What do you think the Packers record will be? And thanks for watching. I appreciate it.